Hello everyone, welcome back to Real Life. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you enjoy these vintage episodes, hit the like button. That helps promote them to like-minded viewers like yourself. Subscribe and you'll be notified of new episodes. There's something new and different every weekend. Today's episode is a rare look at life in Canada's Arctic. This footage was captured by Keith McCall in the summer of 1970. Unlike travel elsewhere, travel in Canada's Arctic is truly challenging. Flying is the only means of travel over any great distance in the archipelago. Ulukhaktok, known until April 1, 2006 as Holmen or Holmen Island, is a small hamlet on the west coast of Victoria Island in the Inuvik region of the Northwest Territories. Like other small traditional communities in the territories, hunting, trapping, and fishing are major sources of income, but printmaking has taken over as a primary source of income in recent years. This Atlas Aviation de Havilland Twin Otter was perfectly suited for the Arctic and its gravel landing strips. Sadly, this particular aircraft, CFWWP, was lost when it crashed 14th August 1973, 70 kilometers east of Eureka. 55 years ago in summer, it was still cold enough that snow and ice stayed well into the season. The artist who created this artwork is unknown. Sadly, there is no audio with this reel, and only a few handwritten notes left by Keith McCall. That said, it's a joy to rediscover this footage, which was only briefly aired to a limited audience in the early 1970s. Despite the 55 years since it was shot, my goal is to share this footage far and wide. Someone will know much more about the people and the details in this film. Here we see Copper Inuk graphic artist Helen Kalvak with her distinctive facial Kaknik tattoos. Footage and photos of Helen are quite scarce. Kalvak was born in 1901 on Tahayak on Victoria Island and raised in the Prince Albert Sound area. Her family also spent time on Minto Inlet. She lived a traditional Inuit lifestyle for most of her life. Although Kalvak later converted to Christianity, she continued to reflect her traditional Inuit religion in her artwork, along with the stories which she had learned as a child. In 1960, Kalvak moved to Holmen after the sudden death of her husband, Edward Munyok. There in 1961, she helped a Roman Catholic priest, Reverend Henry Tardy, set up the Holmen Eskimo Co-op. It was at this time that Kalvak began her artwork. In 1965, her artwork was turned into prints and sold throughout the world. 10 years later, in recognition of her work, Kalvak was inducted into the Royal Canadian Academy of Arts. This was followed in 1978 by her appointment to the Order of Canada. By 1978, Kalvak had produced an estimated 2,000 drawings. She was no longer able to use her hands due to Parkinson's disease. The following year, Canada Post used her work entitled The Dance for a 17-cent postage stamp. With 176 published prints, Kalvak is the Ulukhaktok artist with the largest body of published work. At the time of her death in 1984, Kalvak was one of the few remaining Inuit women in the village decorated with traditional beautifying facial tattoos. The first people to settle in the area were Natukyasuk and his family in 1937. 2 years later, the Hudson Bay Company relocated from Walker Bay and a Roman Catholic mission was opened the same year. The English name Holmen was in honor of J.R. Holmen, a member of Sir Edward Augustus Inglefield's 1853 expedition in search for the Arctic explorer John Franklin. In 2006, the community was renamed Ulukhaktok, the traditional name for the area, which means the place where ulu parts are found, or a large bluff where we used to collect raw materials to make ulus. The large bluff that overlooks Ulukhaktok was the source that provided the slate and copper used to make ulus and give the community its name. Being at latitude 70, the sun does not set from mid-May to late July, affording plenty of daylight for everyone to take in the sun with outdoor activities and sports, focusing on the community. They may not have all the resources children have in the South, but they certainly make do with what they have and are happy and joyous, as all children should be. You can look forward to more amazing Arctic footage captured by Keith McCall in future episodes. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters, members, donors, and subscribers. It's a pleasure producing these fascinating little episodes. If you want to see more of these old reels restored and preserved, consider supporting by hitting the thanks button or becoming a monthly member. Your support will help preserve these old reels. Have a great day, be kind, and we'll see you again next time on Real Life.